Hey guys, Troy here. This is my new review channel. I'm going to be talking about movies, music, television, video games, you name it. I'm going to be reviewing it. So starting off with this first episode, I'm going to talk about the Halloween franchise. Since it's Halloween, I figured that would be fitting. And yeah, I'm going to rank them from worst to best. And yeah, let's get it. Let's do it. At number 11, I have Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. This is just one of the worst movies I think I've ever seen. You couldn't pay me to watch it again. It's, I have nothing against Rob Zombie as a director. I think he's fine. He has his cult following. But this movie is by far his worst, in my opinion. It fails to even address things that were set up in his first Halloween movie. It brings a supernatural aspect, which the first Halloween movie that he did was very grounded in reality. It gave him a backstory that, whether, you liked it or not, it at least gave him some sort of tangible, real background as to why he is the way he is, and it separated itself from the original Halloween franchise and series by being a little more grounded and not as supernatural. And then the second one, he just said fuck it, I guess, and had his ghost mom following Michael Myers the whole time, and then he didn't have a mask for most of the movie. It just a very stupid piece of shit movie that is. And the only redeemable aspect I can say about it is they actually kill him at the end. There's no haha gotcha twist that Michael Myers is still alive at the end of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. They actually kill him and put him down, which I think is the only redeemable aspect of it. But overall, I give that movie an F. Coming in at number 10, I've got Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. This is Halloween 6, technically. It's the one with Paul Rudd. A lot of people will recognize Paul Rudd in this. It's very early in his career before he became the funny man. And this movie also is just... It's the end of the first timeline of the Halloween movies, and by this point they had just beat it into the ground, and they added some sort of Celtic mysticism, supernatural subplot, and added just a bunch of weird, non-necessary subplots to Michael Myers, and just kind of ruined the mystique of him and made him more cartoonish. Some of the only redeemable parts about this movie is the kills. They're pretty interesting for a slasher flick. Pretty sure at one point he makes a guy's head explode. So if you're into cool kills and you're not really in it for the story or anything that ends up actually taking a lot of the time in the movie, then this might be the movie for you. But overall, you could just skip it in the franchise. You could honestly skip most of the Halloween movies. There's only 2 or 3 good ones in my opinion. I give Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers an F. And then at number 9, I have Halloween 3, The Season of the Witch. This is the one that is not featuring Michael Myers. Originally, John Carpenter wanted the Halloween movies to be an anthology series. So, the first one would have been Halloween, then he wanted this one, then he wanted another one that was a different story told on Halloween. All being horror movies of different types. But this one, there's a commercial that's killing children, and it's supernatural, and it's just it's god awful. This movie has its defenders, whoever they may be. There's people who will defend any movie out there, but this one is just also not fun to watch, in my opinion. And it doesn't... I don't know. It could be good on its own, I guess, if you're supposed to judge it by those merits, but when you've got better ones in the series, it's just, you could definitely watch any of the other ones. I give Halloween 3 Season of the Witch a D-. Coming in at number 8, I have Halloween Resurrection. This is the one where Jamie Lee Curtis's character is killed off almost immediately at the beginning of the movie. And then they, for some reason, decide to have a game show that Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks hosts. This one definitely is very bad. Some people consider it the worst in the series, but I at least enjoy it a little bit for the fact that it has fun. Like, it realizes that it's fucking the, like, 8th entry in the series by this point or something, and it's just taking it to different places. It has that reality show aspect of it, and it kind of has a lot of found footage, which was famous at the time because of Blair Witch. And I don't know, it has Busta Rhymes literally saying "trick or treat, motherfucker."
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Which, you know, that's just pure cinema. I think that's I wouldn't say Oscar worthy, but definitely some sort of acting award should be given to Busta Rhymes for that. I'm surprised he's not in more movies. But yeah, I mean, at least it tries to have fun, but it is definitely a bad movie, and I don't recommend watching it or rewatching it overall. So I give Halloween Resurrection a D. What I have for 7th and 6th place, I'm just going to lump them together because they're very much companion movies, but neither of them are very good, and I'll give them the same rating. I have Halloween 5 and 4. These are the ones that introduce Michael Myers' niece that he's obsessed with trying to kill. Also, just not very good movies. You know, the lower 75% of this list are movies that I wouldn't even recommend watching, but I just wanted to rank them from worst to best. Yeah, so I don't really want to talk much about these. I think they're pretty meh, you know, middle of the road. They're not so bad that they're enjoyable. They're just like shitty slasher movies, which I'm a big fan of slasher movies, and I'm a big fan of shitty ones. But these ones are just, they're not even worth your time. So I'll give Halloween 5 a D, and I also give Halloween 4 a D. Coming in at 5th place, I have the original Halloween 2. This one is the one that established that Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode, is Michael Myers' sister. Something that they would pick up in the Rob Zombie movies, and completely abandoned with the 2018 Halloween. This is one that I generally have, you know, lower or towards the middle of my list because it's the one that started making it super convoluted and tried to make Michael Myers a little more grounded in his actions. Whereas what made the first Halloween movie so scary was that he just seemed like a crazy person who escaped a mental institution and was killing people at random. Yeah, adding this like family aspect is what set it down the spiral of, you know, being some sort of cult thing, and him being supernatural, and it just, I blame this one for the downfall of the series overall. So I have it at 5, but it is still watchable, kind of. It all takes place in like a hospital, which was kind of cool, I guess. But there's a lot of like meandering and walking, and it's just very boring. And I've actually rewatched this one recently, and it doesn't hold up. It's definitely the first bad entry in the series. I give Halloween 2 a D+. Coming in at number 4, I have Halloween H2O. So this was the first movie in the series that decided to forget all of the sequels that came before it, except for Halloween, the original, and Halloween 2. It picks up with that storyline of, you know, Laurie Strode being Michael's sister, but it just does a lot more with it. It's a very 90s movie. It has Josh Hartnett and a young Joseph Gordon-Levitt and LL Cool J. This one, I think I might be a little biased on, and why I like it more than all the other ones is because it scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. And it's just it's great to see Jamie Lee Curtis back into the role. If you watch all these movies chronologically from when they came out, it's just, you can just tell Jamie Lee Curtis is having a blast. You know, this is like pretty much her franchise at that point, and it's just enjoyable slasher flick. So I give Halloween H2O a C. Coming in at number 3, I have Rob Zombie's first Halloween movie. I think that this is Rob Zombie's, not his best movie. I think his best movie is The Devil's Rejects. But this is definitely my second favorite Rob Zombie movie and my third favorite Halloween movie. It is a little bit slow to start. It focuses a lot on Michael Myers' background, but what I enjoy is that it decided to go a different route than the original series of movies did. It decided to make him a little more grounded. It started with him, murdering small animals and logical next step serial killer stuff. Showed a little bit of his home life and the bullying and why he became the person he was. And it's got that Rob Zombie like kind of twist to it where it's very dirty. Everybody's cussing, like every second word is fuck. Like if that interests you and appeals to you, then I highly recommend watching this Halloween. It's a very enjoyable slasher flick, and yeah, it just has some brutal kills, and it's a decently fun watch, especially considering the rest of this franchise. So I give Halloween from Rob Zombie a C+. Coming in at number 2, I have the 2018 Halloween that was directed and written by David Gordon Green, and written also by Danny McBride, which you would probably know from comedies like Pineapple Express and This Is the End. This one was the first one in the series that just decided to say screw it to everything except for the original, and it was definitely a great choice on their part. Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis's character, is not the sister to Michael Myers. She's just someone that he attacked on Halloween, many years ago, and he's been locked up ever since, and he gets out, surprisingly, as he does all the time, and it's pretty much, it shows a lot of the traumatic things that happened to Jamie Lee Curtis and her precautions and the logical next steps she would do in the case that he ever got out, and how her fear of this entity has shaped and destroyed her family, kind of. And yeah, it's you can tell Jamie Lee Curtis is having a ball with this role, and it's very traditional in how it was shot and how it was edited. They brought John Carpenter, the director and writer of the original Halloween, back to score this new one. He got his, they got his approval to make this one, and it's just, it feels the most connected to the original Halloween out of any of these, and in a very good way. It was a very big surprise, I think, to have people who traditionally do comedy like Danny McBride or David Gordon Green helm this, and it turned out really good. I had no doubts, in their ability. They're great writers, and this is a franchise that, like, it's not terribly hard to make a good one at this point. Like, you have to just watch the original and then write something logically from there, and they did that, and it's a very enjoyable watch, and watching the original and that back to back is highly recommended. So I give Halloween, the 2018 one, a B-. And then obviously coming in at number 1 is the 1978 original Halloween from John Carpenter. This movie is just a classic. It is an absolute classic slasher movie, classic horror movie. Arguably one of the best horror movies of all time, in my opinion. And it's a must-watch, especially around Halloween for me. It's terrifying. It definitely scared me a lot when I was a kid. The sort of like looming presence of the camera. You felt like you were from the point of view of Michael Myers a lot in the movie, and that was terrifying. It's like you knew something that the audience or that the characters in the movie didn't. And it was very impressive, especially for 1978. Just an all-around classic movie, and it spawned a franchise that overall is pretty horrible, but we got some good ones in there. So I give John Carpenter's Halloween an A. Thanks a bunch, guys, for watching this video. This is my first one, so sorry if it's a little bit rough. I'm going to keep doing these. I'm going to do movies, television, video games, music, etc. Anything that you want me to review or something that you think would be worthwhile to watch or check out, please give me a suggestion. And yeah, leave a comment, subscribe if you like what you saw, and if you didn't, give me some criticism. The internet's great at that. Yeah, thank you.